Good evening, world. It's Ivan the Mayor. It's coming at 6 o'clock. Yeah, I'm making another video as promised. I usually make 2 videos when I'm off, right? Yeah, the ground's full of cans. So tomorrow I will actually clean my room. It's a mess. Obviously. Is today your cheat day, Ivan? Well, my stepmother bought hamburgers. She's making hamburgers, so I'm caving in. I'm going to eat the hamburgers today. But tomorrow I'll just eat one meal. So today I cheat a little bit. Obviously, I'm still 260 though. I'm 260 right now. Yeah. I might maybe be 256 by the end of the month, end of June maybe. End of the year I should hit maybe 240, 235. If I do hit 235, I'm going to post my picture. Most likely on Twitter, because I don't know how to do the YouTube thing, right? I have to figure out how to do the YouTube thing first. Then I can post like a slideshow on YouTube with music. But if not, I'll just create a Twitter account, an X account, and I'll just post my pictures there. Yeah. I saw Captain America Brave New World today, by the way. I saw it online. Movie was okay. It wasn't that good, right? One of the weakest Marvel films ever made. It wasn't that great of a movie. A little too short, too. Because most Marvel movies are usually like 2+ hours. Brave New World is only like an hour and like 50-minute movie. Yeah, the movie was okay. It wasn't terrible. It's okay, but it wasn't that good, obviously. I already knew Harrison Ford was Red Hulk. I already knew the president Harrison Ford was Red Hulk when I saw the pictures and everything, right? The spoiling pictures. Yeah, I knew he was Red Hulk, obviously. You have the main villain Stern. The main villain Stern, obviously. He controls people's minds. And Harrison Ford made a deal with him because he had heart problems, and then he fed him those pills to keep him alive. Obviously, but what Harrison Ford didn't know was those pills affected him, and it turned him into Red Hulk. Obviously, the story was okay. It wasn't the greatest story. It's okay, but Brave New World was one of the weakest Marvel movies I've ever seen. Right. It was a letdown. It wasn't that good of a movie. And I understand why the movie flopped. It didn't make any money. It only made $400 million on $180 million budget, which means it lost money, obviously. Broke even, lost money. I don't know how much they paid for marketing on that, but the movie obviously lost money, right? Or broke even. I highly doubt broke even. It lost money. Because the movie... Anthony Mackie had an amazing performance as Captain America, but the story was not that great. Hence why the movie was not a hit, obviously. Because the story was not that great, obviously. It wasn't that great of a movie. It was okay. I give it a good maybe 5.8 out of 10, 6 out of 10. It was pretty good. It was okay. It wasn't that great, though. One of the worst Marvel movies I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, it wasn't that great of a movie. That's why the movie didn't make much money right now. Some sound. Yeah. Yeah. Did you like Brave New World better or Sinners? I enjoyed Sinners more than Brave New World. Sinners was a fucking good movie, man, with Michael Jordan. That was an amazing... I didn't like the ending. The ending I didn't really like that much, but Sinners was a fucking amazing movie, man. That was a good movie, man. I enjoyed it more than Brave New World. Sinners. Obviously. I did not see Thunderbolts yet, but I'm going to watch that, too. I heard Thunderbolts is better than Brave New World, but the most anticipated movie I'm excited to see this year is Superman. James Gunn's Superman, guys, is coming out July 11th. Less than a month, guys. It's coming out. You're welcome, Warner Bros. I'm your movie. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The new DC Universe, James Gunn's Superman, is coming out July 11th, guys. So go watch it and show Warner Bros. Some love. Yeah. You're welcome, guys. I'm your movie. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what will you do after Xanus? Either The Great Escape or The Matrix, but for me to do The Matrix, Matrix 5 has to get canceled. Otherwise, I'm not doing The Matrix. Unless they agree to delete 2 movies, then I can do The Matrix with Michael B. Jordan. We'll see what happens, obviously. But it's most likely going to be The Great Escape with Keanu Reeves. 85% chance I do The Great Escape, 50% chance I do The Matrix. But Matrix 5 might go into development hell. And if it does go into development hell and it gets canceled, I might be giving David Zaslav a call. Yeah, I'm interested in owning the rights for the Matrix sequels. You don't want to own our brand? No. The Matrix brand is yours. I just want to own the rights to your sequels, and I'll pay you $2 billion for the rights, which is a good deal. As Matrix grossed like $1.4 billion for the 3 movies, and the game did a couple $100 million. I'm paying you $2 billion for the rights for the sequels, not the brand, the sequel rights. As realistically speaking, I should be paying maybe $200, $250 million, $300 million for the sequel rights. I'm willing to give you $2 billion because now that the Matrix sequels is in my hands, the brand becomes worth more. That's why I'm paying you more money. $2 billion in my Canadian money, which is like $1.4 billion in your American money. That's a good deal for one of those for the sequels, for the rights for the sequels. You don't want to own our brand? No. The Matrix brand is yours. I just want to own the sequel rights to it. Yeah, and I'll pay you $2 billion in cash. What about a stock deal? No, it's a $2 billion deal. I'm not paying you a stock deal. I'm sorry. Yeah. I made coffee. I'm gonna go upstairs and get coffee in a sec, guys. Yeah. So you, VJ Mike with Jordan. Yeah, me, VJ Mike with Jordan will be the leads of the movie. You know how in the Matrix it's Trinity, Neo, and Morpheus are the 3 leads of the movie? Yeah, the 3 leads of the movie will be me, VJ Mike with Jordan. We kind of all have the same. I'm ultimately the main character, but they're also the leads too. They're leads too. VJ will be the lead. She's like the next Trinity. Her name is not Trinity. She has a different name. And Michael B. Jordan is a lead too. And then Ben Affleck and John Krasinski and all of them are supporting characters. So they have a lot of scenes too, but they're supporting characters in the movie. Obviously. Yeah, but Michael B. Jordan is the lead, and Ben Affleck and all of them are the supporting characters. Why are you paying them more than Michael? Because they're bigger than Michael. Yeah, you also pay actors based on how much they're worth and their status. They're bigger A-listers, those guys. John Krasinski and Ben Affleck are bigger A-listers, and that's why I'm paying them more money than Michael B. Jordan. But Michael B. Jordan, I'm still going to make sure he gets paid the big ones. He's a smaller A-lister. By then, we were probably maybe $55 million around there. If Michael's worth $60 million, then I can pay him more. I can pay him his like $13.5 million. I can give him like $22 million in royalties for the first movie. The second movie, he gets like 14. He gets his 23. And by the third movie, he's making like 26 million of the film profits. Michael B. Jordan, you sign on 27 million or something like that. You sign a mega deal. Because for the small aces, I'm not going any higher than 26 million. So Michael B. Jordan, I'm not going to go any higher than 26 million for him. But by the third movie, he'll be a bigger A-lister. By the 6th movie, he'll be a bigger A-lister. You can pay him maybe his 28. Michael a bit more by the third movie, right? He'll be a bigger A-lister, but then based on how much money he made off the previous 2 movies. Yeah. So if Matrix 5 gets canceled, obviously, which it might perhaps, it might go into something called development hell. I want to have the talk. Read it. Do you want to do the Matrix trilogy with me, or do you want to do The Great Escape with Keanu Reeves and the romance or unique story and the him Val movie with Dwayne Johnson, Will Smith? What do you want to do? And somebody tells the VJ might tell me, I kind of want to do the Matrix. The Matrix will cost us more money though, $2 billion of our money. But I kind of want to do the Matrix and kick ass with you, yeah. And the Matrix, there's going to be a romance with me and VJ, right? Just like you have something with Trinity and Neo in the Matrix. And Michael B. Jordan, I might have him have a romance relationship too. Brie Larson and John Krasinski have a romance in the Matrix. They're a couple, yeah. It adds to make more interesting, obviously. Some sign. Yeah. I'm your creative, yes I am. Yeah. I am the 7th one. I'm the lucky one. Keanu Reeves was not the lucky one. He's a 6th one. That's my idea for the story. And 6 is a cursed number. You know how in the Bible you have 666? It represents the devil? The number of the devil? Yeah, like Keanu Reeves was not a lucky one. Was I'm the seventh one. I'm the lucky one, obviously. The seventh born one. 7 is a lucky number. And 7 is a symbol for God in the Bible. That's why I'm a genius, you know. Yeah. The Oracle tells me, yeah, I knew Neil was never the chosen one. I told him he wasn't too bright. Another life maybe, and then the other life, what I really meant was you. It wasn't him. It did mean him. Obviously, he came back from death. Obviously, he came back to life, but he was never really the chosen one. Neil, he wasn't too bright. I told him he wasn't too bright. He made a lot of errors. He let Smith cognizant onto him. He couldn't defeat Smith because he never was a chosen one. His love for Trinity blinded him, and he made errors. He could have saved Zion. He chose to save Trinity, knowing she would die anyways. Remember, the architect told her, "Yeah, even if you save her, Neo, she's gonna die anyways." And she died in the revolutions, right? Yeah. Some saying, huh? Yeah. Neo pretty much had nothing to live for when Trinity died. He wanted to be with her in another life, whatever it is. When he fought Smith, you can tell he had nothing to lose, man, because he lost love of his life, Trinity, in the Matrix. Yeah, he lost his eyesight. Yeah. Yeah. Sincere? So, like, what's your idea? It's 70 years after the events of Revolutions, so it's a new generation in the Matrix. That's what I'm gonna pitch to Warner Bros. If I want to do the Matrix, if Matrix happens, which most likely won't. Most likely be the Gracie of Keanu Reeves. It's 70 years since the events of Revolutions. It's a new generation, and Michael B. Jordan is the grandson of Naomi and Morpheus. So my idea is Morpheus and Naomi, they end up getting married, and they have children, and their children's children. They have a child. And their children's children is Michael B. Jordan. He's the grandson of Naomi and Morpheus, and all the Warner Bros. Are blown away. Holy shit! When you're gifted, I know it's a masterpiece of sense. So it's a new generation, and like you have the graves. Yeah, you see the graves of Morpheus. Even though Neil's body's not there, everyone remembers Neo how he supposedly saved Zion. Yeah, he didn't really save Zion. Obviously, he supposedly saved it. Because Smith comes back, he hacks back into the Matrix, and it causes the glitch, the deja vu. My idea for the Matrix 4 is Matrix Deja Vu. That's the title for my that's my idea, obviously. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go upstairs and get my coffee. I'll be back in a sec. Hope you guys enjoying the show. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Went upstairs to get my coffee. Alright, do you think the Matrix 2 will be better than Grayscape? That's a tough one. They'll both be just as good, but yeah. But something tells me you guys would rather see me as a secret agent than be the one, right? Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see you and VJ as secret agents escaping a criminal organization. Yeah, and I told you the Gray Escape is most likely happening. 85% chance I do the Gray Escape with Keanu Reeves. And like a 10-50% chance I do the Matrix because they're making Matrix 5, right? Yeah, and I kind of don't want to shit on Keanu Reeves' legacy, right? Because if I make the Matrix, I'm kind of shitting on his legacy, right? When Keanu Reeves failed in the Matrix, he couldn't defeat Smith, man, because he wasn't really the chosen one. That's my different story, obviously. That's why I'm a genius. Yeah. So it's 70 years since the events of Revolutions, and Michael B. Jordan is the grandson of Naomi and Morpheus. It's a new generation with Ben Affleck and Brie Larson and John Krasinski and all them. That's my new story. That's why I'm going to consult for the screenplay. But the Wachowski sisters have to write it, obviously. But me and VJ I'm going to have VJ help me out with the notes. What I'll do, VJ, let's watch, if we do the Matrix, which is highly unlikely, obviously, we need to watch Matrix 1, Matrix 2, and Matrix 3, that we understand the story better. We can also print the scripts online and study it. And we have ideas, and VJ will help me with the notes when we pitch the Warner Bros. Because Warner Bros. will tell me, before we sell off the sequel rights to you, what is your idea for your sequels? Is it better than our ideas? And I tell them my ideas, they're like, holy shit, Ivan, that sounds like a master's man. And we made that shitty Resurrection story. Holy shit, Ivan, you're gifted. Yeah, I'm gifted. I'm a crave genius. Michael B. Jordan's the grandson of Naomi and Morpheus. So I'm like, yeah, that's genius, Ivan, I know. Obviously. Michael B. Jordan is the grandson of Naomi and Morpheus. And my idea is they get married. Morpheus and Naomi get married. They have kids. And their kid is Michael B. Jordan. And you see, in Zion, you see the graves of Morpheus, Naomi, Trinity, Neo. They're all known as heroes. Obviously. They're all heroes. And everyone knows that Neo saved Zion. And he made peace with the machine, supposedly, right? When you watch The Matrix, right? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. So how do you want the movie to start, Ivan? Well, I have a few ideas. It starts off with the flashbacks of what happened in the original Matrix trilogy. The Oracle talking to Neo and everything. And, you know what I'm saying? Smith talking to Neo. I've changed, a new man, apparently free. Congratulations. Some part of you imprinted onto me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that way it coincides with your story. You're a genius, yes I am. What did Smith really mean when he said that? Some part of you imprinted onto me. You know what I'm saying? I've changed, a new man, apparently free. Was Smith talking about the future? And when he put his hand into Neo, when he tried to turn him, yes, that's it, it'll be over soon. In other words, if Smith turns Neo into Smith, it's over. Smith pretty much won because he's now imprinted onto Neo. He's a part of Neo, and Neo's spirit lived on. And because Smith is now imprinted onto him, he also lived. The program Smith also lived on too, and that's how he was able to come back. He hacks back into the Matrix, and it causes the glitch all over the Matrix, and it causes a deja vu. That's how Smith returns. Ivan, that's genius. Yeah, the Warner Bros. Executives are all shocked. Holy shit, Ivan, you're a genius. That's a beautiful way for his return. Yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Some saying? Yeah. So it starts off with the flashbacks of the Matrix, and I ended off with the cat, and then Keanu Reeves like, deja vu. And she's like, what did you say? Deja vu. I saw a black cat walk by and another cat that looked just like it walk by again. Yeah, and she's like, deja vu means there's been a glitch in the Matrix. Obviously. So I'm saying, so you get the flashbacks, and after that it says the Matrix, you get the Matrix code, and then it says the Matrix deja vu. And it transfers into the Matrix, obviously, and it says 70 years later, the 6th or 7th iteration of the Matrix. Because Keanu Reeves, when he was in the Matrix, that was the 6th iteration. So this Matrix is still the 6th iteration or the 7th iteration. I don't know. They ever talk about the cousin sisters, how they want to work with that, obviously. And it starts off with a family, they're playing at some carnival, and then they go home, obviously, and then they get out of the car, they arrive home, they get out of the car, and they're walking towards the door of their house, and then the kid sees the black cat, and another cat walks by again. And then the kid's like, Mom, Dad, there's a cat, there's a black cat. They're like, honey, it's just a cat. We see cats every day or something like that, right? No, you don't understand. Like, I saw a black cat, and after that, another cat that looked just like it passed by again, like 2 of the same cats. And they're like, oh, that must be a deja vu, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. That shows a deja vu. And it transfers to the Oracle. She's in her apartment, obviously. She's making food and all stuff with the kids and everything, and the glitch is going on in the Matrix, and she's like, "What the heck is going on?" You know, and she opens the door and she sees people reacting in the hallway and everything. She's like, "What's going on here?" Yeah, like there's some crazy stuff going on in my apartment. Like doors are appearing out of nowhere and all this stuff. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? And she figures it out. She's like, "Oh my God, it's like deja vu." And she's like, "Smith." You know what I'm saying? And she meets with the architect in the park. Remember how they met in the park in the Revolutions in the end? Yeah. She meets with the architect in the park. And she says she believes Smith is back, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And the architect is like, yeah, I told Neo that he was foolish. He was blinded by his love for trading, and he could have saved Zion. He chose the door on the left to try and save trading, knowing she would die anyways, and he couldn't defeat Smith. And then she's like, yeah, Smith has returned. You know, that's my idea. You're a genius, I am. Yeah, that's why the Warren rules, that's what I'm like, holy shit, you're a genius. I know I'm a genius, man. This is hypothetical because chances are the Matrix with Michael B. Jordan is not happening. But I told you, Michael B. Jordan and Ben Affleck and all of them are praying to God to do the Matrix because they signed a 3-movie deal for it. They're out of the Hollywood system for like 10 years of their life, man. And Ben Affleck signed a mega deal, like a $280 million deal, whatever it is, right? Yeah, for Matrix 4, I can give Ben Affleck 65. Second movie, he gets 75. Third movie, he gets his 80, 85 or 90 or something like that. That's good for Ben Affleck, right? For the film profits. You can pay him $20 million for the first movie. Second movie, he gets 23. Third movie, he gets 25, 26, 25. That's good for Ben Affleck. And he gets his bonuses too, right? First movie, you can pay him maybe an $8 million bonus. Yeah, not even, he's bigger. Yeah, but he doesn't contribute as much to the role. He's a supporting character. He's not the lead, so I have to pay him a bit less. I'm still making sure he gets paid a lot of money. He signed like a $270 million deal for 3 movies. That way, when Hollywood offers Ben Affleck contracts, he can turn it down because I signed him to a mega deal for the 3 movies, 3 major movies. That's a good deal for Ben Affleck. That way, he can turn on Hollywood roles, right? Because it's an exclusive contract, guys. I don't want you working in Hollywood. You can do your magazine shoots and everything and all that stuff to earn some side money, but like for movie roles, and you can perhaps take some minor roles, but those guys all get offered major roles because they're A-list actors, those guys, right? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. That's my point. After this, I'm gonna take a shower. I didn't shower yet, guys. No, I didn't shower. Yeah. This Thursday, I'm getting my bike fixed. Finally, no more walking right now. Jeez. Yeah. And my idea is once the Oracle has that meeting with the architect in the park, they go to the abandoned building where Neo first met Morpheus, which symbolizes the gateway to the real world and the Matrix. Obviously, that's my idea for the story. And when they go there, the mirror is still there, and they go through the mirror. and that mirror is the gateway to the real world, and they talk to the machine god of the machine city. They make a deal. They say Smith has returned because of deja vu glitch is going on in the Matrix. You have this Valve thing going on in the Matrix, obviously. And everyone's like, what the fuck's going on? And you hear like, yeah, apparently the agent Smith has returned and everything, yeah. And my idea is you get something like Terminator. You get this electricity, obviously, forming, and you see the Matrix code, obviously. And then Smith forms, and 3 other agents form behind him. He's like, haha, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, any anomalies? No anomalies. The last anomaly known was Neo, also known, Thomas Anderson, also known as Neo, deceased 7 years ago. Ha ha ha! Even Neo couldn't defeat me. They mock Keanu Reeves. Yeah, Keanu Reeves failed. He couldn't defeat Smith. So you're kind of shitting on Keanu Reeves' legacy. Yes, I am, but tough, man. Tough, yeah. That's my idea for the story. I agree with Jesus. Yes, I am. I'm sorry. And the Oracle and the Architect, they make a deal with the machines, obviously. And she's like, the 7th one must be born. And how is he born? I don't know. We have to talk about because exists. I have to really think about it. This is just the top of my head, obviously. And then the one is born in the real world. He's also born in the Matrix, because in Matrix 1, Morpheus said the one was born inside. So what did he mean by that? The only thing I can think of is he has a birth in the real world, which represents the human side, and a birth in the Matrix, which represents the machine side of the one. That's the only thing I can think of, right? Because how the fuck can he be born in the Matrix if he wakes up in the real world? How does that work? So you have to find a way to coincide with that plot, right? Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, it makes sense. Yeah, he's born in the goo in the machine city in the real world, yes. And he's also born in a junkyard in the Matrix. Obviously. But my idea is you have this seed or something like that, and the baby forms in the goo in the machine city in the real world. And while he's forming in the world, he's also forming in the junkyard in the Matrix. But in the Matrix, it's a machine birth. You get this electricity, and you see the prime source code of the one, the light. You also see the coding, the green coding, which represents, yeah, because the one has the prime source code, the anomaly code, and the baby forms in the junkyard. That's my idea, in the junkyard. And Agent Smith doesn't know that the baby was born. Yeah, he said any anomalies, no anomalies. When Agent Smith says any anomalies, is the one being born right there and then? No, he's born a bit later, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, or whatever he's born. And Agent Smith is ignorant. He doesn't know that kid's the one, that baby's the one yet, until later on in the story, Sarah. I actually want to tell the story when he's a kid and everything, and he grows up. He's in high school, he's a hacker. You know what I'm saying? The cops arrest him. You know what I'm saying? The cops are corrupt, obviously. He's like, excuse me, where are you taking me? You know what I'm saying? Like the police station's right there. We just passed it. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, shut up, kid. We don't talk to hackers. Hello, where are you taking me, man? I have rights too, you know. Like, where are you taking me, guys? You know what I'm saying? You don't know, do you, kid? What? We're taking you to him. Who? Agent Smith. Agent Smith? Who the fuck is Agent Smith? Yeah. Excuse me, like, well, I'm supposed to be at the police station, man. Like, this is illegal. What are you guys doing, man? How many times I gotta tell you we don't talk to hackers? That's sick, I know. You're a great genius, Ivan. Yes, I am, man. The colleague says, oh, Ivan, that's perfect, man. We should put that in the movie. Yeah, put that line and that dialogue in the movie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm a genius. Yeah, man. That's why it'll be tough, man, because if Matrix 5 gets canceled, but something tells me I'm going to go with the greatest hit of Keanu Reeves, right? I'd rather kind of do the greatest hit of Keanu Reeves. I do want to really do a secret agent movie where we're on the run from a criminal organization. That's fucking cool. Yeah, I told you, 85% chance I do the greatest hit with Keanu Reeves, like a 50% chance, 10% chance to do the Matrix. Because they're making Matrix 5, right? Yeah. Yeah. So our idea is, yeah, my idea is the you get the story of the one when he's a kid. obviously, you have maybe a good maybe 15 minutes of him when he's a kid. It transfers later on when he's like 16 years old in high school, obviously, and he's a hacker. He's an amazing hacker. He gets into hacking, and he meets his friend later on, like years later. When he gets that dishwashing job, and his friend ends up betraying him to the agents. And Michael B. Jordan's like, they're after you. Like, you guys already know my story. I told you my other story, right? Yeah. But this time, the one bad thing that the one bad thing about the Matrix originals, what they didn't really show what really happened in Keanu Reeves' life. They kind of rushed it. It just starts off with him. Whereas for my movie, I actually want to tell the story. That's why my Matrix movies will be like 4-hour movies, because you gotta really tell the story. I know a 2-hour movie of Ivan Mare is nothing, so I want like a 3-hour, like 15-minute movie. That way you truly tell the story, guys. Okay, Ivan, they write a good screenplay for the Matrix movie, right? Yeah. And Vijay doesn't like me at first, but the Oracle tells her you will fall in love with the one. She's like, I don't even know this guy. Like, I'm not gonna like him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my idea is Vijay kind of has this gothic look. She has this gothic look, obviously. Short hair? No, not short hair. She has long hair, but she has like black lipstick. She has like ear piercings and all stuff. That's my idea. Yeah, for Vijay, obviously. And Mike B. Jordan is good friends with Vijay in the movie when you watch it. Yeah. Yeah. I'll have VJ help me out with the notes. Okay, VJ, if we do the Matrix, there's a highly unlikely, you know what I'm saying? We gotta watch the movies that we understand it more and take notes, that we come up with a good idea for the sequels. Because we have to pitch it to Warner Bros., right? They're gonna ask me, Ivan, what's your idea before we sell off the rights, what's your idea? We want to make sure the Matrix is in good hands. What's your idea for the sequels? I tell them my ideas. They're like, holy shit, Ivan, that sounds like a Matthews Ivan. Holy shit, Ivan, you are creative. You're gifted. I'm like, yeah, I am gifted. I'm a genius. Creative genius. Yeah. Some Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then the baby is raised by he's adopted by a family, obviously. He's a rebellious kid, and he's a hacker, and he gets expelled from school. They arrest him, obviously, and he ends up they kick him out of the house. He ends up getting a dishwashing job, and he meets this guy as a dishwasher. He gets him back into hacking, and that guy ends up betraying him when he's older, and he sells him off to the agents. Yeah, because the agents break my friend in the movie. That's my idea. You're looking at Matthews and Michael B. Jordan's like, they're after you. Looking at a sick movie, yeah, man. All right. And my idea for the scene, once Michael B. Jordan and VJ meet with the Oracle, obviously, Michael B. Jordan can't sleep, and he goes outside, and Xanus and VJ's like, you can't sleep? He's like, no, I gotta find him, man. You know what I'm saying? She's like, don't worry about it. You're gonna find him. You know what I'm saying? Your grandfather's DNA you have your grandfather's DNA. You're gonna find the one. It's easy for you to say, all I gotta do is love the man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's sick. I know. I'm a genius. Yeah, you can picture Michael B. Jordan saying that right now. All I gotta do is love the man. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for you to say, all I gotta do is love the man. Alright, that's funny, I know. Yeah. Are Vijay and Michael B. Jordan trained? Yes, they are. They did the jiu-jitsu training. They're trained, obviously. Like Trinity and Morpheus are trained too in the Matrix. When the Oracle tells Michael B. Jordan that The agents are back. They have this meeting in Nebuchadnezzar with Ben Affleck and all them. He's like, yeah, Smith has returned. Smith is back with 3 of his agents. And he's like, Neo has failed us all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. And I have an idea where Mike B. Jordan, he goes to the grave when he's all stressed out. He looks at Neo. He's like, Neo, like, how could you? Like, how could you fail us like that? He's talking to Neo when he's looking at the grave. And he's like, grandfather. He's like, Ma, Pa, I wish you were alive, man, to help me out, man. Like, I hope I find the one just like you found the one. Yeah, you're a genius. Yes, I am. I'm a genius, man. Look how it says Ivan like that. That's a masterpiece. I know it's a masterpiece, man. Yeah. He's like, Neo has failed us all in the meeting. And if he just like, don't say that. Neo saved us. He saved Zion. He saved the Matrix. Alright, that's genius, I know. Don't say that. Neo saved us. He saved Zion. He saved the Matrix. Oh yeah? Look around. Agent Smith's all back in the Matrix with 3 other agents. That was the day. Let's look at what's saving to me, man. Alright, that's genius, yeah. The caller says, Ivan, that's genius. Put that in the script. I know. It's genius. I'm a genius, man. That's why I want to consult for the screenplay, right? Because I have a lot of good ideas in my mind, obviously. I'll be helping out the sisters a lot, too, when they write the screenplay, obviously. Some sound. Yeah, that's really kind of masterpiece, man. Will The Matrix be better than The Great Escape story? That's tough, man. They're both going to be good because I'm such a genius. I know how to tell amazing stories. They're both going to be amazing movies. But I think The Matrix will take it. I think The Matrix might be a bit of the better story. It's a deep story, obviously, but The Great Escape is just a fun, entertaining story. We're a couple, we can't find jobs, and we become these badass agents. We're on the run from a criminal organization. That's a sick story too. But The Matrix will probably be a bit of the better story. You can argue, right? Matrix 4, my idea for the sequels. Yeah. Let me go get my coffee, guys. Give me a sec, guys. Hope you guys enjoying the show. You guys are back. Yeah, that's why the Gates also want me to sell too, because they know I'm gifted, right? They want to use me and take advantage of my gifts, obviously. They know I'm very creative. Yo, Ivan's fucking creative. He's a creative genius. He has so many good ideas for all these movies and everything. He comes up with amazing ideas for movies off the top of his head. That's how gifted I am. Yeah, this idea for the Matrix, guys, is me off the top of my head. I didn't really plan it, right? This is off the top of my head because I'm a genius. Yeah. Well, I have the keys. I'll sell to you. The Zanespan's mine. Nobody's touching my Zanespan. There you go. It's my brand, not yours. Some center. Yeah. So the Oracle gives Michael B. Jordan a clue. Yeah, when Michael's like you know who he is, don't you? And he's like, why don't you tell me? And she's like, it's not my destiny, it's not my path. This path is set before you. You're the one who's meant to find the one. And Michael B. Jordan's all pissed off, and she's like, what? She's like, I know you're angry. I know you're angry. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just take a breather, go clubbing if you have to. Yeah. And then VJ and Michael figured out maybe the Oracle gave us a clue. Obviously, just like in the Matrix, Trinity's like follow the white rabbit, right? And Keanu Reeves didn't want to go clubbing, and he saw the tattoo. He's like, okay, I'll go. The Oracle gives Michael B. Jordan a clue, and when he goes to the Matrix, when they hack back into the Matrix, they don't know who the one is. Then I talk to my friend. I tell him, do you ever wonder if like you're dreaming? They eavesdrop, and Michael B. Jordan tells VJ, I think I found the one. That's my deal. That's genius, I know. I told you guys my story. You guys know the story, right? Yeah. And VJ's like, he is curious than I thought. When she sees me, yeah, she sees me dancing at the club. He is curious than I thought. Yeah, she tells Michael B. Jordan, yeah, VJ. Yeah. That's really an amazing movie. My deal for Warner Bros. Is $2 billion for the rights for the sequels. So if you don't want to buy the whole brand, no, just the sequels. I'm buying the rights to make the sequels. Obviously, I'm also going to make Unreal Engine 5 games. You're going to make a Matrix game like our Matrix demo we released? Yeah, something like that. Holy shit, Ivan. This is a fantastic collection of assets. I know. Ivan, come work for us. I'm like, guys, I don't need you. I don't need you guys. I have my own keys. I have my company better than your company. Don't hate him, saying. I'm not working in Hollywood. I'm not selling out, I'm sorry. No. Yeah. So the Warner Bros. That's be blown away by you and VG's idea. Yeah, they'll be blown away like, holy shit. That sounds like a master. And you're making Unreal Engine 5 games like that Matrix demo we did, Awakens? Yeah. Holy shit. You're selling merch too? I'm like, yeah, holy shit. Ivan, can we get a stock deal for that? I'm like, no, it's all cash though, guys. You're not getting a piece of my money, Samsara. $2 billion for the rights for the sequels. That's my deal for Warner Bros. It's a good deal. Yeah. That's why Michael's like, Ivan, please, man, make that Matrix movie, man. I want to be a part of that Matrix movie with you, man. For 3 movies, I know, but they're making Matrix 5, Michael. It's not my fault, man. Matrix 4 flopped, and they're still making a sequel. Like, Warner Bros. Is fucking, oh my god. Sometimes I wonder what the executives think when they greenlit all these movies, man. Like, Matrix 4 flopped, and you're making Matrix 5? Chances are it's gonna flop too, right? Yeah. 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 That's why John Lake and all of them are going to be curious. Ivan, what movie you doing next? If I do the Matrix, yeah, I'm doing the Matrix with Michael B. Jordan. Oh, can I even have a movie? I'm like, no, guys, you're not good for the movie. But they're really gonna beg if I do that Matrix movie. Ivan, man, I want to be in that Matrix trilogy with you, man. I'm like, no, guys, you're not good for the movie, Samsara. Yeah. After Xanus, you're gonna go back to home and let me know you get what you deserve. But it's most likely gonna be the Greatest Academy, guys. It's not the Matrix. They're doing Matrix 5, right? Unless it gets canceled, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It goes into development hell, right? What they call in Hollywood, yeah. Like Blade with Mahershala Ali is in development hell right now. They announced Blade like I think 2019, 6 years ago. Still haven't found directors. Still haven't written a screenplay. So obviously that franchise is in development hell. But it's been 6 years and still no news, right? Yeah. I don't even know if it's even gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah. What's your idea for the sequel? The only thing I can think of is um Michael B. Jordan and like Ben Affleck. You could do Michael B. Jordan and like John Krasinski and Larson. They get captured by the agents, by the people, and I have to go there and save them. Obviously, when I hack back into the Matrix, before you hack me in, I need weapons because I'm not making the same mistake that Neo did, right? Because Neo, when he fought Agent Smith and Reloaded, once like more agents started showing up, it was tough for him to hold his own against it because there's so much agents. That's why he had to use a weapon. And once he had that weapon, he kicked ass. And I don't make that same mistake. I get a weapon. I get like this staff. Yeah. Because I don't make the errors that Neo did, obviously. Neo made a lot of errors in his life. Which I don't make as much errors as Neo, right? That's my idea. I don't really have an idea for Matrix 5 and 6. I'll have to really think about it and plan it, but I have a full idea for Matrix 4. Obviously. Because this is off the top of my head. That's why I don't really have that much. I have a few ideas here and there. I don't really have that much ideas. This is off the top of my head. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you want them to be Smith clones? Yes. There's Smith clones too, obviously, in my movie too. Alright, who are you thinking of for Smith? The guy who was in Echo and Daredevil, Fisk? The guy who plays Fisk, yeah, I think he's good for Smith, the new Smith, right? He's very formidable and he's freaky. Fisk is fucking freaky in Daredevil. I saw the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. Fisk is he's freaky, man. You have him as Smith. The only problem with that guy, he's old now. He's like 60 now. By then, he'll be in his 70s, so you might have to have stunt doubles jumping for him, but he's good for Smith. Yeah. I guarantee you guys, like, yeah, I can picture him as a new Smith. Holy shit, man. Like, he'd be a good Smith. Yeah. He's powerful and strong. I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. The path that lies. The way he talks, yeah. He's good for Smith, yeah. The new Smith. Yeah. So you don't want Hugo Weaving? No, I want Smith to look different. I don't want Hugo Weaving as Smith. I want new characters. Smith has a different look. I'm sorry. Yeah. So you're actually going to tell the story. Yeah, I'm actually going to tell the story of the life of the one, the seventh one. Whereas in Matrix 1, they didn't really show you Keanu Reeves' life as the one in the Matrix. It's very rushed in the first Matrix, obviously. That's the only flaw I see in the first Matrix. You don't really get the story of Keanu Reeves when he's lost. He's a lost man in the Matrix. It's very rushed. Whereas my movie, I'm actually going to tell the story of the life of the one in the Matrix. I'm also telling stories of what goes on in Zion with VJ and Michael Jordan and all them. Telling them an interesting story. So, Sarah? Yeah. So what would you guys rather see? Would you rather see me as the one kicking ass, VJ kicking ass like Trinity with Michael Jordan, or would you rather see me and VJ, we work for this company, we're secret agents, and we find out you can't get out, and we're on the run from a criminal organization? What would you rather see, guys? Yeah, I kind of rather see you in the Great Escape than the Matrix. We already saw Keanu Reeves as the one in the Matrix. Yeah, see what I'm saying? It most likely is the Great Escape with Keanu Reeves, as they're making Matrix 5, and Matrix will cost more money. I have to purchase the rights off that. Like $2 million of my money's gone, right? Yeah, but if me and VJ make our money off Wing Version game, it's pocket change. We can afford it, obviously. I'm off tomorrow, so tomorrow I'll make a video for you guys again, right? Yeah. In the morning. I'll most likely do 2 videos tomorrow again. And I work Wednesday at Dinty's, and I will get Thursday off again. Yeah, and I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Coco Fruity. Yeah. I'm still looking for another job, but none of the people contact me, man. And I only work 3 days at Coco Fruity, which means I only get like $600. Yeah, man. Yeah. Will Matrix be better than Xanus? No. It will not be better than Xanus. Xanus is too good, man. You can't top that story. Xanus is a masterpiece. Yeah. Xanus will be my best movie, hands down. It will be better than The Great Escape or The Matrix. Most likely The Great Escape. Will be better than The Great Escape with Keanu Reeves. Looking at a masterpiece, yeah, man. Best story ever told. As I showed you guys, right? It's an amazing story. Xanus. Yeah. Yeah. How much money do you make off your Xanus book? 10 to 12, 14, 15, 20 million around there. I make off the book. Around there, right? Most likely. I make off the book. And that's not money for me. We just start Skyscraper Entertainment. We'll make our first movie, The Last of Us, based off my novel that I wrote. I'll put $2.1 million towards the movie. The Matrix movies, I'll put $700 million towards it. Yeah, $700 million towards each of the Matrix movies. Yeah. The way you build up, you have an amazing action sequences, amazing world. Because my idea for the Matrix looks updated, Zion looks updated because it's been years, decades since the events of Revolutions. And the Nebuchadnezzar looks updated, the equipment, the programs, the training program, and everything. Yeah, the weapon program, everything is updated because it's decades later since Revolutions, and the humans are at peace with the machines. But once Smith returns, the Oracle and Architect have to make a deal with the machines. Smith has returned, yes. That causes the glitch, the deja vu in the Matrix. That's why I'm a genius. Obviously. Samsara? What volume is the best? Well, I like Volume 3 personally, but I think most fans are going to like Volume 2 the best for Xanus. Yeah, I like Volume 2 the best. Volume 2 kept me the most hooked. But Volume 3 blew my mind away more, so it's like a back and forth. And Volume 3, you can argue, is the most raw of the 3 volumes when you read it. Volume 3. That's why it's like a back and forth, obviously. Which is better, Volume 2 or Volume 3. They're both really good, right? Volume 1's amazing too, but Volume 1 is just a build-up of the story. And that's why for me it's the worst. It's going to be between Volume 2 and Volume 3. Most fans are going to like the best. But some fans might even like Volume 2 the best, and then Volume 1, and Volume 3 is their least favorite. Because Volume 3, you can argue, is the most raw, obviously. And I take the story in a totally different direction. And some fans might not like that. It gets a bit more religious in Volume 3. Whereas Volume 1 and 2, you don't really expect that. Hence why it's a plot twist. That's why some fans might not like that. But my personal favorite is Volume 3, but you can argue Volume 2 is better. It just depends how the art hits you. Because Volume 3 is when the scenes blow your mind away. That's why it's my favorite. But you can argue Volume 2 has a better flow of the dialogue. So you can also argue Volume 2 is better. It just depends how the art hits you. Art hits everyone different ways. Samsara. Art hits everyone in different ways. Yeah. 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 And I told else that, man. I'm like, no, John, you get 9. Stop being greedy, Samsara. Yeah. Be careful for the greedy agents and managers in Hololive and the greedy pigs. John Boyega, G12, Avon, Joji, their agents and managers are going to push for more money, but I'm going to be strict and say, no, you're not getting more money, man. Guys are getting greedy. Yeah. John Boyega's not worth 20 million in film profits. No, man, he gets 8.5. And if he's worth close to 20, I can pay him his 10, but he's not getting more than that. John, if he gets greedy, I'm not paying him any more than 9. John Boyega's not worth 12, he gets 9. I'm not going to have these guys rip me off, Samsara. No. The Salons eventually believe Taki's the Prince of Xanus. Well, of course they do. Duh. They obviously eventually believe he's the Prince of Xanus, as you guys read in that passage. Young man, does Eli speak the truth? And Eli is like, this man is own imposter. He's Sir Prince Taki. Obviously, Eli eventually believes he's the prince. But it took Cassius to convince him. Otherwise, Takis would have been fucked. Takis really had to convince Eli to release him. Obviously, when you read the rest of that passage I showed you. Job, I take it you had a horse to take care of? Yes, there are welfare and drive. There's a reason night. And what about tactics? That was funny, I know. The book is sick, son. So Cassius was furious with Job. Yeah. Who the fuck do you guys think you are? You just threw my cousin, who's a Prince of Xanus, in fucking Southern shackles, man. You guys are fucking Southern. He has authority over you, and you throw this guy in the dungeon. Who the fuck do you guys think you are? That's why Cassius was so furious with Job. And Job was scared for his life, obviously. Because Cassius can end him right there and then. He's a trained warrior, right? Yeah. And that's why when Tacitus was paranoid, what if we end up in a dungeon? He's like, relax, Tass, we're training warriors. Nobody can stand against us here. He's like, that's not what Tacitus would say. He's like, still, Tass will be fine. I'm now sick. I'm saying, yeah. You must be Eli. Don't take one more step, Northern. And you'll do what? Forge us? I'm now sick, I know. Tacitus is a sarcastic joker in the book when you read it. That's why John May is really good for Tacitus. From a Southern as well. Alright, that was funny, I know. From a Southern as well, I'm saying, yeah. Yeah. So the Salons don't like Northerns either. Yeah, the Salons don't like the Northerns either. They see them as arrogant people. That's why in that scene, the beginning of the Exodus of Sapphius, Job is like, Northerns are so arrogant. Yeah. He was annoyed by their arrogance. Yeah. It seems like Salons don't take Northerns too kindly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm saying, yeah. But I'll be adding stuff to the dialogue to make it more interesting in the movie, obviously, right? Yeah. That's why looking at me. He's like, this is Lord of the Rings. I know it's Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece, my book. Yeah. After this, I'm gonna take a nice cold shower. A warm shower. It's fucking hot. Take a nice shower. I didn't shower yet, guys. Yeah, it's gross, huh? I feel dirty right now. I didn't shower. Yeah. So Aratat knows Takis is in the south. Yes. Because he well, in that scene, that interrogation scene, he told Cassius and Tacitus, what the fuck are you doing in my territory? You're not welcome here. And he figured out, yeah, you must be here because you're looking for someone special. And then Cassius tried his best to draw attention away from the discussion. He's like, I know nothing of what you speak. He's like, the child Tactius sound familiar to you now? Yeah. I won't spoil the story for what happens later, right? You'll see what I mean when what happens later, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, but Ivan, why did Aratat decide to mark the lands? Because he knows. Aratat knows that this generation is a special generation. It's a lucky generation. That's why he's like, all the Southerns, the humans that live in the South, kill them all. Kill them and capture some of them. Because the wolves can also capture humans too, right? Capture some, kill some. You guys see what I'm saying here? Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, you have something called the landmark means I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah, that's why you have the Exodus, because Cassius had a gut feeling that the wolves are coming to Saphius. Because they already marked Cyrus, and Aratat knows that we escaped. He knows that we fled to Saphius, and chances are the prince is there. Their cousin's there, and he's like, mark it. And when you read that scene, that if you should see that prince, kill him on sight. Yeah, that's why Cassius told Tactius, we gotta get the fuck out of here, man. We're in Aratat's territory. This place is cursed. We gotta get the fuck out of here. And, he was willing to take Tactius and Tacitonius and Sirius of Papyri and ditch the Solons, but Tactius is like, no, we can't do that. We can't just abandon these people. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't leave Lithia. It seems you already clarified your feelings, Tactius. We don't have time for this. I'm now sick, I know. Yeah, I can't leave Lithia. It seems you meet Eli's daughter. It seems you already clarified your feelings, Tactius. We don't have time for this. Yeah, Tactius, forget about this Lithia girl. You're obsessed with her. She's not our problem. You're too important. We gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah, and Tactius is like, we can't just abandon people. And that leads to the exodus of Saphius, as you guys read in that scene, right? Evacuation. Yeah. There is another passage to the north, but I cannot guarantee a safe pass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's legends of dwelling devils, creatures that live there. And they're like, what? I'm paraphrasing, the bats. And Tacitonius like, I think me, Tactius, and Cassius can handle some worthless bats. These are no ordinary bats, Tacitonius. They're big and fierce, and they can kill even you, one who's trained in the arts. They are devils. Oh, come on, we can fight them. Tass, listen to them. The words my biggest unfair advice on a journey. I don't know, I'm sick. I know my book is sick. It's sick. Please, your book is sick. I'm enjoying what you showed me. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, Peter. It's better than Lord of the Rings, man. Yeah, man. Masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah, your characters really jump on a page, I know. My book's a masterpiece, man. My characters jump on the page. Why? How do you do it? I don't know. It's a gift that I have, man. God gave me the gift. I know how to make my characters jump on the page when I write my books, right? Yeah. Even though unique, the character of Dawn jumped on the page. Yeah, that was entertaining too. Yeah, that was entertaining too. I wrote that in class off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, guys. I'm not lying. I didn't plan that when I wrote that. I wrote it as I go. And I was gonna write the whole series, but I was stressed out with Xanus. Finishing Xanus in 2019, I decided to not write the unique and just focus on Xanus. Plus, it'll cost me more money, like $4,000 money I don't have. Like, it's tough for me to even save $1,000, man. And I gotta save like $2,500, $3,000. Writing 2 books, I'll make more money, but it'll just cost me more money because I make shitty money working midway jobs, right? Yeah. Yeah. So Eli had a panic. Yeah, as you guys read in that scene, Eli had a panic. He's like, calm down. He's like, Eretat and the wolves are potentially on their way here. How can one calm down? Yeah, because Eretat's a devil. They know they're devils, obviously. Yeah. And Eli's like, this is my home. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Cass is like, I know, Eli. I'm paraphrasing him. But if what I say is deemed true, Eretat will show no mercy. He will kill you as well as the rest of your people, including your own daughter. So he'll have no mercy for your daughter. He can kill her. He'll kill her, yeah. Or capture them. The Eretat has no mercy for the humans. He's a devil being. He even kills children, yeah. Obviously, as he had the wolves mark Cyrus. Yeah. He's a devil. That's why looking at Masters that I wrote. Yeah. That's why I don't want Eretat a PG-13 wolf. I'm going to tell Peter that or Mel. I want him a radar devil. That way you tell Powerful so I know what I'm doing. Sorry. Yeah. I know what I'm doing. Samsara? Yeah. Yeah. So you do your very best. Yeah, I do my very best to keep the story always pacing. That way it's entertaining. Yeah, I always try my best to have entertaining scenes happen like a couple pages later. That way I keep it pacing. Constant pacing. That these other authors don't know how to do, obviously, when you read their books. Because I don't mean to be rude, no offense. A lot of these amazing fantasy authors, they don't know the magic trick that I have. They don't really know how to keep the story constantly pacing. They have like interesting chapters, and you have like a few other chapters that are boring. There's not one boring chapter in my book. My story, it's all complete entertainment when you read it. I have weaker ones than other ones, but even the weaker ones are entertaining. Probably even more entertaining than some of the best chapters in some of these other authors' books, right? Fantasy authors' books. Young Takis is arguing my weakest chapter in the whole book. It is the weakest chapter in my whole book. And I showed you guys the first 6 pages. It's still entertaining. Yeah, it's still entertaining. You're still hooked. We monsters, cousin. Yeah, it's sick, man. The book is sick. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna twist my hair. Yeah. I have a gel which locks my dreads. So I'm gonna twist it. Keeps it. Yeah. You can tell my hair grew a little bit, guys, but it's still taking forever to grow. It's not growing like it used to, right? Before my dreads grew, so after like 8 months, I had like long dreads. Now it's taking me forever to grow my hair, but it's still growing. It's growing a little bit, but it's taking forever to grow. End of 2026, I'll have long dreads by 2026. End of next year, my dreads should be long. Finally, long. I have long hair again. No more fro, right? Because you guys obviously like my look better with the dreads than with the fro. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs and get some hamburgers, guys. Back in a sec. It's good we don't wake up loud. Who guys doing the show? Alright guys, I'm back. I'm not going to eat the burgers now, I'll eat it later. I want to drink a beer first before I eat my burgers. Yeah. It's very distracting when I eat and I talk, right? So I'll just eat the burgers later. In a good maybe an hour and a half, I'll eat my burgers upstairs. Or I should maybe not eat it. I already ate my 2 plates of rice. So I could cheat a little bit today and eat the burgers. And tomorrow I'll just eat my 1 meal. Wednesday I eat my 1 meal. My Disney's food, that's it. Yeah. Does Lithius know about the wolves? No, she does not. Obviously, she doesn't know about the wolves either. I won't spoil the story for you. How does Tacitonius find about the wolves? I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll see what I mean when you read 22 years later. The scene when the chapter when he's like, when I was just a child, ale was not served. We not bury Jose's cousin. We drank juice of age. Juice, not ale. I can say whatever I like. Yeah, I'm now sick. I know. They have memories with their kids. You're gonna see me and John Vega in the movie. We're close. We're cousins. Yeah. Jimo and Sue too. We're cousins. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, how does Tacitonius know about the wolves? Because when you read Young Tag, he doesn't know either. Yeah, I don't want to spoil the story. You'll see what I mean. When you read that chapter 20 years later, right? I won't spoil the story for you, man. Hence why I didn't show you the big scene in that chapter. Otherwise, I would have spoiled the story for you. That's why I showed you the other scene. Yeah, the scene when she's like, "Darling, bring me a cup of wine." That's arguably one of the worst scenes in that chapter. And even that scene's entertaining too, right? Yeah, I showed you the less entertaining scenes for that chapter. So I won't spoil the big scenes for you. I spoiled a bit of the big scenes for you guys in my book, obviously, like the Exodus of Saphius, the hostile crowd, Father, what's wrong? Those are big scenes. There's a lot of scenes I did not show you because I don't want to spoil the story for you. A lot of big scenes I didn't show you. Entertaining scenes I didn't show you. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. You will see what I mean when you purchase my book, my masterpiece. Yeah. And Volume 3, I didn't show you any of that because I don't want to. If I show you Volume 3, I'm going to spoil the whole story for you. And you now know what happens. I don't want to spoil the story for you like that, right? That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is when you get the unexpected plot twist, all that stuff. It gets deep, powerful, yeah. It's a dark episode of Taki's life when you read Volume 3. I don't want to spoil the story for you. You know? It's a dark episode for all the characters, all the human characters' life, but it's mainly about Taki's. It's a dark episode of his life. That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. He's in agony at the end of Volume 3. I don't want to spoil the story for you, yeah. Some sour? Yeah. So why the North and the South are two different worlds? Pretty much, yeah. The South is a different kingdom than the North. The sun sets faster in the South. It moves slower in the North. So when it's sunset in the North, it's like nighttime moonshine in the South. You guys see what I'm saying here? It's two different kingdoms. Hence why you got to pour a lot of money towards that kind of world, because it's like an advanced medieval world, right? Where you have two different worlds. Obviously, two different systems. That's why looking at a masterpiece, yeah, a beautiful world. Like those pictures I showed you, yeah, it's something beautiful. Yeah, because when you read the prologue, Tacius is born at sunset, but then when I transfer later on to For Fool's Birth, it's moonlight in the south. Obviously, so For Fool is born like later in moonshine, nighttime in the south, while Tacius is born sunset in the north. That's why I want a masterpiece. My book is sick. Yeah. And Tacius the First couldn't think of a good gift for Tacius because Queen Sarah, when you guys read, she's like, yeah, great status and wealth has already been passed on to Tacius. What gift can we give him? And then Tacius the First, yeah, I want a sword crafted for him, and he has a sword crafted for Tacius, which ties into Volume 2. When Sirius is like, you're a sword high as I can, know you're the Prince of Xanus. And your name tag cannot be used here. Because the Sauron's like the Northerns. And your name Takis can draw the wolves here. You have to protect yourself, Takis. That's why Takis used a fake identity. Colonius, the farmer from Cyrus, which he hates being, by the way. He doesn't like being the farmer, but he has to play along to protect himself. Yeah. Because Takis knows he has authority over Eli, but he has to play along. And that's why in that scene, after that argument, the next day, Eli's like, rise, my Syrian friends, it is time for chores. And Takis is like, oh, what time is it? It is time for chores. Go away. I know, it's funny, I know. Excuse me? That's funny, I'm saying, yeah. So Takis works for Eli. Yes, when you read the Lithia chapter, he works for Eli, and he hates being the farmer boy. It's really what he doesn't like being the farmer, but he has to play along to protect himself, man. Yeah, he has to play along to protect himself. It's important. He's important. Sirius even tells Takis, "You're too important. You're the Prince of Xanus. You don't want harm coming your way. You gotta hide your identity, Takis." He's like, "Okay, fine," but he doesn't. At first, he doesn't want to hide his identity. He's a cocky, arrogant prince. Yeah. Yeah. So Takis has some obsession with Lithia. Yeah, he does. That's why when they had that argument, Sirius is like my prince. You know what I'm saying? He's like this Lithia girl has clouded your judgment. She's tainted your mind. Please wake up. There's bigger things at stake than just Lithia, right? But Takis has some obsession with Lithia, and when he realized it was a bit too harsh to him, he's like, "I'm sorry, guys." He was stressed out. It's just me being away from home, from my family. I miss my home, Xanus. I miss my cousins, my sister, my mother. Yeah, it got to him. The stress got to him, obviously. That's why he took it out on Sirius and Papyrus. But he also has an obsession with Lithia, Takis. He likes her a lot, yeah. That's why he's like, I can't leave Lithia, right? Yeah. That's why he saved the cells, basically because of Lithia, right? Based off that scene, yeah. Yeah. Like, he cares about the cells, but the main reason why Takis chose to save the cells is because he can't leave Lithia. He told Cassius, "No, I can't leave Lithia, Cassius." And then Cassius is like, Takis, like, wake up, man. Like, you're obsessed with this chick. Forget about her. You're too important. We got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's pretty much what Cassius is telling Takis, right? But Takis has an obsession with Lithia. He likes her, man. He's like, I can't leave Lithia. Yeah, he likes her. It seems you already clarified your feelings, Takis. You don't have time for this. I'm all sick, I know. Look, sick. Yeah. Lithia likes Takis a lot, too. You'll see what I mean when you read Volume 2. When she's like, "Father, what's wrong?" Obviously, that passage is very clear that she likes him, obviously. And you'll see in Volume 3, I won't spoil so for you. Lithia likes Takis too a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So you do get biblical symbolism with Xanus, yes. Takis is from the Holy Heavenly Kingdom, and he saves the Southerns from the cursed Southern Kingdom, and they get to live with him in his Heavenly Kingdom in Xanus. Just like Jesus saves those who believe in him, supposedly, out of hell, and they get to be with him in heavenly glory with the Father and Holy Spirit, supposedly, somewhere. You get some symbolism for that from the Bible. But Takis even tells Cassius, he's like, yeah, Cassius, I know the path is, I'm paraphrasing, the path through the mountains is dangerous. My fear is some of these children I see here will not see the north, will not see my kingdom, will not see my kingdom, will not see my heavenly kingdom. They won't see the north. Yeah, that's why I wrote a masterpiece. I agree. Like he saves them, they get to live with him in his heavenly kingdom. And Xanus, oh my, yeah. I feel like this is a masterpiece. This is better than Lord of the Rings. I know, Peter. It's better than Lord of the Rings. The masterpiece, Peter. Some of these children here will not see the north. Taki says that. And he was right. I almost spoil over. See what I mean when they journey through the caverns like Moria? That's a very interesting scene. That's why you can argue the first chapter of Volume 3 is the best, because you have like the Moria scene in the caverns, kind of like Moria. Yeah, and all the demon bats live there. Yeah, it's a fucking amazing chapter with Ephesus. You can also argue, my favorite is Walking with the Ancestors. That chapter blows your mind away, man. But the Ephesus scene blows your mind away too. That's why it's like a back and forth. But my personal favorite is Walking with the Ancestors, the second last chapter of Volume 3. And then second for me is Unexpected Journey, the first chapter. And then third, War and Becoming King. And the worst one is what was Secret Council Surprising Arrival. That's probably the worst one. That chapter, I had a little bit of writer's block when I wrote it. But still entertaining when you read it, right? Yeah. Ivan, what chapters did you have writer's block for Xanus? Land in Chaos, the politics chapter that I showed you guys, put it in writing. That chapter, I had a little bit of writer's block, but it was still sick when you guys read it, right? And Secret Council Surprising Arrival, I had a little bit of writer's block there too. When you read it, hence why those chapters are arguably my worst one, or some of my worst ones in my book, because I had a little bit of writer's block. Because I'm a creative genius, the story's still sick. Yeah, it's still an amazing story, right? Yeah. 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 So Ivan, everything in the South is cursed? Yes. Everything is cursed except for the humans, and they're not cursed because they're humans. I won't spoil the story for you. So all the animal beings, all the wild animals too are also cursed too. The snakes, you have snakes in Barak, they're cursed. The wolves are cursed. The bats, even the wild stags and the wild ravens and crows, they're cursed animals. Eretat spies, the crows who talk, they're cursed too. Whereas the Southerns are not cursed because they're humans. Obviously, I don't want to spoil this over. You'll see what I mean when you read Volume 3. It answers all the questions. That's why I enjoy Volume 3. You find out why that world is the way it is. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, a masterpiece. Yeah. Hence why Xanus will be the best fans novel written. You guys will see how I'm going to read, and you're looking at the best movie children made when I adapt it. Anyways, this is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this show. I'll call this video My Dear for the Matrix Sequels and more about the Xanus book. This is Zadmer. I'm signing out. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed this doubleheader videos I made today for you guys. Peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this show I made for you. Don't hate them, son. Peace out, guys.